careful, Teresa. That elite was an ultra.
Alrighty, I finally thought of a topic that will make everyone angry, and that is that sister missionaries and their consequences have been a disaster for the Mormon race. Anyway, as of 2019, we are below replacement birth rates, which means the restoration is over. It's over. Because that means we got a time limit here. We're gonna run out of people. And as much as I trust the members of the church in Ghana to never allow gay marriage in the temple, I would like to see, Salt Lake remain the headquarters of the church. And anyway, this is just a little PSA to stop bullying those heroes, our heroes who become women, these men who become women. They are women, and they go to compete in Olympic sports and humiliate these women and ruin their games. Finally, for once, after every male space on planet Earth has been destroyed by women, finally, they're getting what's coming to them. That these heroes can destroy their spaces as well. I mean, we don't get to have priesthood session anymore. Do you think that's a man's fault? Do you really think that's men's fault that we don't have priesthood session anymore? No. Until we get that back, the males dominating in swimming, you name it, will continue. So, do not complain about these heroes. I don't want to hear anyone trash-talking these heroes or giving the Daily Wire or the Blaze or Crowder or any of these guys more attention, more money so that they can complain about these heroes. Star Wars has been ruined. Every time there's a new story, the main character is a woman. Ruined. Lord of the Rings, no, Galadriel, she's gonna be a super girl boss in armor. She's not gonna be a super witch who's pregnant. The gaming industry, ruined. They're making these Concord games with all these hideous characters trying to take Overwatch from the youth. Really? We have to remember that we live in a church that has a patriarchal priesthood. A patriarchal priesthood. It's a patriarchal order. The cosmos is patriarchal, and you've just got to deal with it, okay? Right after I came home from my mission, and I was in college, my neighbor, I overheard her complaining, and she's like, yeah, these Utah boys, they just think we're here to have their babies. And I was like, dinner would be nice as well. So anyway, you gotta stop. We gotta stop, okay? Everything is falling apart because of this. And it sounds like I'm joking, but I am serious. Because before, first of all, the sister missionary age change, I can't say I am exactly aware of the circumstances in which it was decided to be implemented, but I know that it happened about the same time that the leader of ordained women was excommunicated. And it seems to me that if you want to get the leader's attention, maybe that is the pathway to go. If you can create a movement like ordained women, then maybe you'll get what you want. This lady, I forget what her name is, the purple pants lady, she cracked the code here. And yeah, the church is a very, very different place than it used to be. We used to not let women get endowed unless they were getting married. And if you married someone who wasn't a member, who wasn't endowed, you didn't get endowed. If you were endowed and you remarried to someone who was not a member, you weren't supposed to wear your garments. Think about that for a minute. And that's not to say that, women were oppressed. No, Congress, they thought that if they gave women the right to vote in Utah, it would, diminish our power because the women would rise up. The votes for women was an attempt to destroy the nation of Zion. It didn't work because all those women, they understood. They got it. And they were loyal. And Brigham Young was like, sure. And our power increased because all of the miners, they didn't have wives. All of the miners in Utah. So we effectively doubled, or in some cases, 50x'd our voting power in Utah. Anyway, worth thinking about. So the mission, it used to be this male thing, kind of like a male rite of passage. And that is not what it is anymore. See, I served my mission after this wave of sister missionaries. And I don't know if you've had to deal with sister missionaries, but I had to call them, like, I or my companion had to call them for like an entire 2 years, okay? And they're never leaving because they have cramps. They need to cut their hair. They needed this or that. They're always proselyting in the zone leader's area, which is a good way to get, I don't know, let's just say it's a good way to have very respectful interactions with the local populace, okay? Because the zone leader's area is usually the poor, dangerous one. And yeah, they'd always keep teaching the same dudes who would never read the Book of Mormon. And yeah, they're just causing problems. They need a blessing like every other day. My companion never asked me for a blessing, not once. And yet the sister missionaries were calling in support, calling for the medic every single day, okay? That's what was going on. And the mission, it used to, in addition to being this rite of passage for men, when men came home, it was like, wow, he went on a mission, because it was something that women just didn't experience. There was this mystique to it. And women, the age for women in which they were to go on to missions was like 21, which means there was this deadline. As soon as girls turned 18, there was this time's ticking. You might be 21 and you might get your scarlet letter, which comes in the form of a black name badge. You are an old maid, 21, doomed to proselyte the gospel across the earth into your 40s. And that was the state of the culture. And the YSA, it was this revolving door. You'd go in, and in less than 2 years, you'd come out married. That's how it was. It just happened. It was like a church-mandated marriage go-round, you know? It was really cool. And now, the YSA is eternal. It's eternal and celestial YSA, okay? And what is going on in the YSA? It is a problem. It is a problem. Women and men go there and they're preparing for missions. They're not getting married. And then after they come home, there's no deadline to get married. And so the geniuses of some committee somewhere who almost certainly involve a bunch of women have decided that we will now be splitting the 25 and up from the 18 to 25, trying to impose a new deadline, a new old maid status. You are now 25 and now you are an old maid. And we sure hope that works, but I don't have high hopes because the cat's out of the bag. The genie's out of the bottle. These girls, they're ready to save the world, okay? That's what they're up to. They're going to go save the world. Babies can wait. And yeah, really, it's a numbers game here. And if we're running out of people, if Utah is below replacement rates, then what? I don't know. What's going to happen? Certainly not good things. Certainly Sodom and Gomorrah levels of destruction will occur. We will be literally erased, and we will not exist anymore. That's what happens. That's what the statisticians, I called it in to my old school buddies, and they told me, yeah, when numbers go to 0, it's over. It's over. And the YSA is honestly, I couldn't design an organization that is better designed to keep people single. You have to go to these little FHE activities with your ma and your pa. Wow, that's hot. That's what I want to do. Just call a man my pa. I don't think they do that anymore, but you know, there's bounce houses for adults. There's some guy who owns like a bounce house company, and he's keeping that busy, you know. He's keeping that busy at all these activities because do you know what these eternal bachelor 30-year-old dudes really, really want? They want to jump on a bounce house with a 30-year-old girl with kids. That's what we want to do in the, quote, mid-singles ward. Yeah, that was a real oversight there, calling it the mid-singles ward. Luckily, they realized, you know, I sent in an email saying, you do realize what mid means. Now, I don't know if that got up to the top levels, but obviously someone noticed. And that's the problem, you know. Some of these decisions that are being made, they're just a problem. One of these institutes, they used to have a theme that was called Come and Find. And the logo for like the institute theme that went on all the shirts was a maze. And it's like, you guys do realize that a maze is a satanic symbol, right? You know, you never seen prisoners before? It's a satanic symbol, okay? And it doesn't represent Christ. There is a Christian symbol that does represent Christ, and it's a special symbol called a labyrinth. And I wish that I could be on the committee that's designing these shirts so that we could put a labyrinth and not a maze on the shirts that are about Christ. Because it's really just wrong. It's just sick. And something... These committees who are making all these decisions, they need some warped, frustrated young men on the committee, because we really need to unlock the diverse perspectives of the twisted minds of young men who have been forced to go to bounce houses for 10 years and forced to listen to these women talk about their missions and how many blessings they got from their zone leader. Okay. See, I was in one of the trial runs for this mid-singles ward, and it was amazing. It was amazing how positively it was received. You know, every man who was about 26, they're like, you know, at first I didn't like it, but after I tried it, it was okay. Meanwhile, I go to the family search engine, and I go up like 3 generations, and my great-great-grandpa is marrying 16-year-olds. And he's almost 40, and he's already married. And it's like, what the heck has happened to us? Look how far we have fallen. And I do sympathize with these girls, because as bad as it is to be a young man in the YSA, I cannot imagine how bad it would be to be an attractive young lady in the mid-singles ward. In fact, it might be so bad that I wouldn't go. In fact, I don't think any of them are going. I don't think there's anyone who's really planning on getting married who would go to the mid-singles ward. Seriously, let's think about that for a second. And honestly, these singles ward activities, they're not working. And I don't think that any of this is really going to solve this problem, and it's a really, really big problem. And, you know, I'm glad that we can reactivate the 31 to 35-year-old loser washouts, okay? No, we love you. But, yeah, there's a problem here. There is a big problem. There is an elephant in the room, and that is dating apps. And no one has disavowed these. I don't know. We need like an official declaration, a proclamation, if you will, disavowing companies like Mutual, which are satanic emblems of the Antichrist, through which a small collection of young men can go about damaging all the young women spiritually. And it's a huge problem. And we need a new dating culture in the church. And I don't know how we would achieve this, but certainly the situation is a little bleak. It's a little bleak in here, okay? Most people who are getting married, they're mostly just Netflix and chill buddies who, live in the same apartment. There's not we gotta pump those numbers up, right? We gotta do it. Utah's birth rates are falling faster than almost anywhere, okay? And this is a numbers game. It's about demographics. And, Joseph Smith, he set women apart as midwives. There's these alleged accounts, which are probably true, about midwives who were set apart by Joseph Smith. And they delivered thousands of babies, 3,000, 4,000 more. Tell me one woman in Utah, in the leadership or whatever, who has done more, okay? We've got primary presidents who are renaming the only cool university in Utah to be like the Cows, or what is it, the Buffalo Trailblazers or something. It's like, come on, guys, really? And yeah, that's what we got. We got Sharon Eubanks, who is a lesbian, probably. You didn't hear that from me, but that's probably what that is. You know, she comes out and parades these activists in front of the youth. And it's a real problem. It's a real problem when your kids are being brainwashed by Bluey the dog 24/7, and when they finally get a church leader to talk to them, it's Sharon Eubanks, and she's pushing the same Bluey propaganda down their throats. It's just a problem, okay? And yeah, I'm sick of this. Someone needs to do something. And the problem is that we need male spaces. Because if we can have a male space where only men are allowed, women will inevitably want to be there and be a part of it. So, how do we accomplish that? I think that we should just not allow women to go to the singles ward at all. They're just gone. It's men only. And then we can all work on like our deadlifts, because everyone is trading Pokemon cards in the Elders Quorum, making me look like an idiot. Making me look like some sort of turbo nerd. Okay? These people are not healthy. They're like on oxygen, okay? And they're like 27. Somehow, we gotta spruce up these elders, okay? They are not marriage material. They are not leaders. And they need to be forged with an iron fist into the next generation of leaders. That's what we need to do. And when women are in the room, it really just makes it impossible to deliver the type of messaging that these men need. They need to wake up, okay? The only male space in the church that is truly male only are these little 12-step meetings that men go to, where they cry about their life and how sad and bad they are, and how the internet has destroyed their life to the point that they are now almost a rainbow, and they are horrified and they can't handle it, and it is just this loser mentality. And we need a men's space that is the winner mentality, where we are going to win these weapons grade psychological horrors that are being injected into our eyes through the internet. We are not victims. We are the army that will defeat them. Okay? That is what's going to happen. That is the mindset that we need to have. We are not broken. The world is sick. We are the cure. The world is being killed, and the people who are killing it have names and addresses, okay? That's not a call to action for anyone who doesn't understand nuance. But what I'm saying is that an army, a spiritual army of young men who are determined to reshape the world, who's going to stop them? The women? The old men? Think about it, okay? Think about it. So we need to reforge ourselves. You need to get healthy. You need to be strong. You need to be smart. Okay? And this is not about being a self-improver who's going to, you gotta be improving. You gotta be improving. So that you can be a handsome 65-year-old with a nice little retirement account for the IRS to go munching on with all their rats, okay? They're going to send their little rats to come nibbling away at your retirement account. This is not what that's about. This is about saving the world, okay? The world is rotten. It's rotten. And you are the cure. You got to stop thinking that you are a victim, okay? So that's my rant today. That's my rant. Ladies, you got to pull up the slack here, okay? Because we're all going to die. We are all going to die. That is a fact. And if we don't have, midwives delivering 4,000 babies, who's going to do it? And, ordained women, it's a problem. It's a real problem. But there is such a thing as matriarchal priesthood, okay? There is. There's a midwife's blessing, okay? We've done away with that. And other ordinances. There are ordinances that are performed by women. There is an ordinance that I can think of specifically that is performed by a woman, and it is the crowning moment of the highest ordinance of the gospel is performed by a woman, okay? So this is not about putting women in their place, okay? That's not what this is about. But they used to promise to obey us, okay? They used to do that. And now we're being bombarded by these TikToks with, oh, your wife is your partner, not your mom? Really? Really? Because your husband is your partner, not your dad, okay? So fix the car yourself, okay? Pull the hair out of the shower drain yourself. The leaves in the thing on the roof, your problem, honey, not your dad, okay? Okay, sweetie pie? Yeah, okay. I hope everyone is angry. Use that anger, hate. Let it flow through you, right? That is the anger that we need. If this is making you angry, you better go study. You better go learn the history, okay? Become the tip of the spear. Use your anger, okay? Prove me wrong. Or prove me right. You know, we need to reshape a whole generation. Because, when the high priests get merged with the elders' quorum, and some of these 70-year-old dudes are healthier than the young guys, it's a problem, okay? So, get healthy, get strong, get spiritual, get worthy, and get angry, okay? God, we talk about the attributes of God. Wrath is an emotion that only God and man can feel, and there is such a thing as righteous fury. And if there was ever a time for righteous fury, it is now. You need to get control of your life, okay? You need to get control of your life. And you need to get worthy, get healthy. Use that anger to get worthy, get healthy, get a partner who's angry and is willing to help you, okay? That's what you need. Read some books or something, and okay, you can't be one of these wife guys, okay? You got to be a leader. That's what you got to be. That's what the ladies want. They want leaders, okay? They don't know what they want, but that's what they want. They want you to be a leader. They want you to be strong. So go be that thing.